Hey everybody, here's this month's expert Q&A, and this is a great question because it comes right on the heels of that last look over my shoulder video where I took you through how to evaluate and come up with the right number, a purchase price for a rehab. Remember how I told you that there's the capital expenditures and the acquisition costs, but that typically new investors tend to forget the whole operational costs or the burn rate and take that into consideration when they're trying to figure out exactly what it's going to cost. So if you understood that last video and you now understand how you need to look at rehabs, once you've come up with that number as to what it's going to cost you, now you got to go out there and get the financing. So here's a question from someone, and it's right in line. This is what they asked. They said, first off, they asked, do I have a class on putting together a commercial hard money funding deal, a blueprint, if you will? And the answer to that is no, I don't, but that's a great idea, and I think I might need to put that together so people can just on one piece of paper know exactly what they need to do to take a rehab from the time it's being offered and presented to them all the way to the time they make an offer and have that strategy for getting that deal done. That's a great idea. I think I'm going to do that. Now, there's one other part to the question. They said, is there a way that a hard money lender would finance a commercial multifamily deal 100%? And the answer is, I've never seen it. Hard money lenders need to have that, what I call the risk corridor between the value and their debt. Just like they do on a single family home, the same is true on a multifamily. And it's typically 65%. Now, let's get the terminology straight first. We say hard money loans, we say hard money loans in the single family. On the multifamily side, we tend to call them bridge financing or bridge loans, and it's essentially the same thing. The difference is that with a single family resident, it's easier on the hard money loan side because you've got to figure out exactly when you're going to be paying that money back. It's when you sell the property. If you can't sell the property, it just goes into your costs, and it's going to take that much longer, and it's going to dig that much more into your profits. On a hard money loan side, you're dealing with bridge financing, and you're dealing with a big rehab, like we said on that look over my shoulder video, remember what has to happen is you've got to take that property from non-performing to performing. You've got to get that property from 0 occupancy up to over 80% occupancy. And then you can finance the hard money lender out and put conventional financing in. So you've got to take that time into consideration when you're figuring out what your exit strategy is on the hard money or the bridge loan. So once you've figured out on the last video that I showed you, once you've figured out exactly how you're going to calculate how much money you're going to need, then you've got to figure out how am I going to get this loan from the hard money lender. Remember, he's going to want you to write a check for 35% down. It's not like a hard money loan you can walk in and do no money down. You just don't even want to bother with that. So if you're looking to do rehabs and you're looking to finance them with bridge financing or hard money loans, you're going to need a chunk of change. You're going to need a lot of cash. You're going to need to get it from a partner who has it. And if you're going out there to raise it through private money, through like an equity raise, you can do that, but you've got to explain the risks involved and understand the risks involved to the investors so they know that they're getting themselves into a deal that could be very risky. The returns on a rehab are huge. The risk on a rehab is huge as well, so you have to take that into consideration. So to answer the question, do I know of a hard money lender that will do 100% down, 100% on all bank financing? Absolutely not. They all want their pound of flesh in the game. Figuring out how to do a hard money loan, you're going to need to put 35% down on the loan to value. That's just everything I've seen. Now, if you've got a good relationship with a hard money lender, they may go and do it a little bit more. Now, another thing you want to keep into consideration, and this kind of ties into that last video, the look over my shoulder video. Remember how in the look over my shoulder video I told you about a government program through FHA, I think it was a 221D4, and the problem with that mortgage, that loan, is it takes about 6 months to get. But once you get it, it's a rehab loan, and you can use it to rehab a property. That means that if you know what you're doing, you know how to strategize this correctly, you can buy the property today with a hard money loan, hold it for 6 months while you're getting that 221D financing in place, and then finance out the hard money loan. You now own the property on a rehab. They're giving you the money to do the rehab, and you're off to the races. But that still requires capital, because you're going to still need that 35% down from the hard money lender, and you're going to need at least 6 months of carry costs, and you're going to need the bank costs, the loan costs, which with an FHA can be considerably more than with a conventionally financed deal. So these are the types of things you need to take into consideration when you're thinking about doing a financing of a hard money loan or a bridge loan on a rehab opportunity. It can be done. It absolutely can be done. There are people that have mastered it and do it all the time. So don't look at it and say, oh, I can't do it. Just when you look at a particular opportunity, the first question you should ask is, how do I get this deal financed? And with a rehab opportunity, this is how you do it. Hope this was helpful, and we'll see you next month. Thanks, everybody.